bill and the additional changes Democrats want to make before then. 2 teens shot in a Waffle House parking lot. Why the gunman isn't the only one facing charges. New at noon, we've just confirmed the GBI has wrapped up its investigation into a South Fulton police officer accused of excessive force. And now the question is whether he'll face any charges or discipline. Tracy A. McPeer is at the Fulton County Courthouse for us after speaking with the community activist who got into a confrontation with the officer. Tracy, what did he say?
Well, Marcus Coleman and his attorney continue to ask for the officer to be fired. This all goes back to a confrontation from January the 29th. Now Coleman recording on his cell phone as he gets out of his car and asks South Fulton police officer Solomon Muhammad, who's in his car writing a police report, why he isn't in the street directing traffic around a crash on Roosevelt Highway. Muhammad's body cam video shows the two arguing as the officer gets out of his squad car and the officer following Coleman as he starts walking away. Both videos show them then scuffling. Coleman says the officer pressed a taser into his chest and then handcuffed him and claims he illegally detained him for 40 minutes until a supervisor showed up and ordered him to be released. The GBI told us today it submitted its investigation to the Fulton DA late last month. Coleman telling us he thinks the officer deserves to lose his job and face assault and battery charges.
The disparities of over-policing, period. People are tired, man. People are tired of getting harassed because of the color of their skin. People are tired of getting harassed because of the police culture, whether it's a black officer, white officer, pink officer, fuchsia. We want them to uphold their oath to protect and serve and don't be selective when it comes to whatever communities that they're doing it in.
Now, we reached out to the Fulton DA's office as well as the South Fulton Police Department to see if any action will be taken based on the GBI investigation. As of now, we have not heard back.
Okay, Tracy, still some questions. Thank you. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a fire in Gwinnett County that killed an elderly woman. The fire broke out just before 1 o'clock this morning at a home on Whitney Park Drive in Duluth. Firefighters say they were able to rescue the woman from the home. She was trapped in a back bedroom upstairs, but she later died at the hospital.
They were able to determine that the fire started on the back covered porch of the residence. The fire quickly spread inside the home into the roof line. There was heavy fire involvement when the fire crews got here. Right now, fire investigators say the fire appears accidental, but the exact cause is undetermined.
An elderly man and a caregiver were also inside the home. They were able to escape safely. An overturned gasoline tanker has leaked fuel onto Brazelton Highway and Hamilton Road up in Gwinnett County. Firefighters are working to figure out how much of that fuel may have gone into a nearby storm drain. 2 nearby gas stations were evacuated as a precaution, and people are still encouraged to stay away from the area. The truck driver suffered minor injuries in the crash. No one else was hurt. Also in Gwinnett County, a prison bus crash caused I-85 to shut down for about an hour this morning. Police say the bus was transporting several inmates from Phillips State Prison when it got into an accident near Sugarloaf Parkway. One person was treated for injuries, and all of the inmates were switched to a different vehicle after the crash.
All right, we are looking at clouds for the most part. Yeah, not a lot of sunshine, I can tell you that right now, and you probably won't see much of it today at all. And some rain will move back into the forecast area. This is Georgia's Rome. Very cool afternoon. If you plan on going out, I would grab the heavy jacket, at least the heavy jacket. Because of those easterly winds that we have coming in, and again, not much sunshine around. It is a cool afternoon for us with a lot of readings in the 40s this morning. You see our southernmost counties now starting to get back in on some of that light rain, even some moderate rain starting to move over toward the LaGrange area. We'll watch that off and on as we head through the rest of the afternoon, and a lot of that making its way further off to the north slowly as well. Maybe even by 3 o'clock, you'll be seeing it in the metro area. Certainly as you're going home, coming home from school, that kind of thing, you will be using your windshield wipers in some spots, especially south of I-20. Temperatures in the 40s, as I said, 48 in Athens and Atlanta, 46 right now in Covington. You're at 50 degrees. It's the warmest spot in Duluth. I think most of us will get up to about 50 for this afternoon as a high. A lot of areas will stay in the 40s, especially up here to the north. You're at 41 right now in Blairsville, 42 in Clayton, so low 40s around, especially down toward LaGrange where you got the rain right now, right at 41. Again, 50 for your afternoon high temperature. Isolated showers at first, then becoming a little bit more scattered once we get toward the evening. We'll drop down to 45 degrees by 7 o'clock. Rain will stay with us through the overnight going into the wee hours of the morning on Wednesday, but Wednesday by the afternoon, sunshine returns. We'll have details on that in the full forecast coming up. Christy?
Today marks 1 year, if you can believe it, since state leaders confirmed the first cases of COVID-19 in Georgia. At that time, there were just over 100 cases of the virus in the entire United States. Since then, the impact of the virus on Georgians has been devastating. The latest numbers show we have recorded nearly 820,000 total cases and more than 15,000 people have died. Johnson & Johnson's vaccine is expected to arrive in Georgia this week. The CDC and the FDA giving it the green light over the weekend. Right now on 11alive.com, you'll find more information about how it could help in our fight against the virus. As Americans prepare to get the first single-dose COVID vaccine, today we could see action on President Biden's relief plan as early as tomorrow. Tracy Potts has more on this from Washington.
A shot in the arm for Americans and for Congress.
Mr. President, are you sending vaccines to Mexico? Are you sending?
We're going to talk about that.
As the first single-dose vaccines are administered in the U.S. today, President Biden speaks on the pandemic, and he's calling Senate Democrats for some lunchtime lobbying to shore up support for the American Rescue Plan.
We've reserved time in his schedule to ensure that he can be engaged, roll up his sleeves, and be personally involved.
The first Senate vote could happen as early as tomorrow, but Democrats are not all on the same page. Some want to tighten up income requirements for the $1,400 payments. Others want to roll back business tax breaks to make up for getting rid of a minimum wage increase.
I expect a hearty debate and some late nights.
It didn't have to be this way.
Congress at odds as the pandemic rages on. The CDC reports cases and deaths are slowly creeping back up 2% over the last week.
I am really worried about reports that more states are rolling back the exact public health measures we have recommended.
Also today, FBI Director Christopher Wray testifies on the January 6th Capitol riot.
Director Wray, frankly, has a lot of explaining to do.
Lawmakers want to know what intelligence the agency had before the attack.
Help is on the way for struggling renters out of Cobb County. A new emergency fund will help Cobb County residents struggling to pay their rent and utility bills during the pandemic. Similar to other counties' programs, to qualify, you must have seen a significant drop in your household income, must have been unemployed for at least 90 days, or be at risk of losing your home. To learn more, visit the COVID Assistance Center page at cobbcounty.org. Community activists gathered again today outside the state capitol to peacefully protest against controversial election bills making their way through the state legislature. This includes House Bill 531, which just passed the Georgia House yesterday and now heads to the Senate. Activists say the Republican-backed bills amount to voter suppression following the state flipping blue, but Republicans call them voter reform. A man is accused of shooting two teens attempting to break into his car, but now they are all facing charges. It happened outside of Southeast Atlanta Waffle House on Memorial Drive Monday night. Police say the man came outside of the restaurant and saw the two teens trying to break into his car. He opened fire and the suspects ran off. The teens were found minutes later at a nearby intersection, both shot in the leg. The 13 and 14-year-olds are expected to be charged with breaking into the car, and the owner is facing charges of aggravated assault. A mother now charged with killing her 7-year-old son and shooting at her husband. Morgan County deputies say they were called to a home on Riverwalk Road Monday morning after the husband called 911. 36-year-old Allison Jones is being held at the Morgan County Detention Center. The sheriff's office says deputies are interviewing both parents to try to figure out what happened and what led up to the shooting. Two Atlanta celebrities are accused of sexual assault, and we want to be very clear. At this point, no charges have been filed, but a lawyer is asking Georgia's Attorney General to open a criminal investigation against rapper T.I. and his wife Tiny. The two are accused of forcefully drugging, kidnapping, and assaulting more than 30 women. The allegations span more than 15 years, going back all the way to 2006. Back in January, T.I. posted a video on Instagram addressing the allegations after they surfaced online.
We ain't never forced nobody. We ain't never drugged nobody against their will. We ain't never held nobody against their will. We ain't never made nobody do anything.
Attorney Tyrone Blackburn says his office has retained 11 women, 6 of them Georgia residents. He says although the women do not know one another, their accounts of sexual abuse are, quote, eerily similar. T.I. and Tiny continued to deny the allegations, and in a statement, an attorney for the couple said they, quote, deny in the strongest possible terms these unsubstantiated and baseless allegations. It's 10 minutes past the hour. Still ahead, our Verify team sorting through some of your top COVID-19 vaccine questions. We've got answers for you next.
Watch here at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up.
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level.
There's a lot of information coming out about the coronavirus vaccine, and it changes often. It's a lot to keep up with, so let's go through it and talk about what we can verify, what's false, and what we just don't know. Our sources are Dr. Carlos Del Rio, infectious disease expert at Emory University, and the CDC. The first question comes from a viewer who asked, should you get your second dose from the same brand you received your first? The quick answer is yes. That's verified, with a little wiggle room for extreme circumstances. Here's Dr. Carlos Del Rio to explain.
Ideally, you should get the second vaccine because of a timing issue of the same brand you got the first one. Having said that, CDC has said that if in extraordinary circumstances, when they don't have one, you can get the other one.
So we can put that in the verify column. If you get the Pfizer vaccine for your first shot, you should stick with Pfizer for dose number 2. Same with Moderna. Claim number 2 has been floating around the internet, and it's even more timely now that the FDA has authorized Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine. So the question is, if you started out with a 2-dose vaccine, could your second dose be a shot that's intended to be a single dose?
We don't know the data. There's no data for that. The British are doing a little bit of that, but my recommendation at this point in time is don't do that because we don't have data if that makes a difference or not.
So we can put this question in the unknown column because right now the science just isn't clear. All right, question number 3. Can vaccinated people still be infected with COVID-19? Unfortunately, this one's not easy to answer either.
Again, we think so. We don't know. We haven't proven one way or the other, right?
So this one also goes in the unknown column until scientists can learn more. But what about this question? Do vaccines reduce the effects of COVID-19? This one has a clear answer.
That's one of the things that we do know. The vaccine protects you from severe COVID and it protects you from death.
This one we can verify. The vaccine definitely reduces the effects of the virus. And our last claim, if you got the vaccine, you no longer have to wear masks or social distance. This one is false. Here's Dr. Del Rio.
Because we don't know if they protect you from infection. Once we know that, it will be a different story. But at this point in time, I still continue to do all the things that I was doing before.
The CDC agrees, saying we still don't know if the vaccine will prevent you from spreading the virus, even if you don't get sick yourself. So this one goes in the false column, because even if you've gotten the vaccine, it's still important to wear masks and social distance to protect yourself and others. Have you seen something that needs to be verified? Send us an email at verify@11alive.com.
All right, we can verify that it's cloudy on the outside and has been that way pretty much all morning long. It's going to continue as we head through the afternoon. So if you're going out, take the jacket. Also, the 11Alive umbrella if you have one. That'd be nice. Or Wake Up with Chesley umbrella. Those are nice. And whatever you have will work. I'm sure of it. Okay. We're looking at temperatures only around 50 degrees for this afternoon with a few sprinkles. Already starting to see that pop up mainly in our southernmost counties. Take a look at the radar and you can see that now. Heading up toward Peachtree City, for example, you may have just a few dots out there that will hit your windshield, but eventually you'll get in on some of that steadier rain where we see the darker green there, steadier rain. The yellows indicate some moderate rainfall coming down. We have that over toward LaGrange right now. I've been watching and monitoring that. The bulk of this rain is moving from the west to the east, but it is making a slow progression up to the north. So eventually we'll get on up into Peachtree City, eventually into McDonough, Atlanta will have some. Eventually you get into it, Roswell as well, but that won't be until later this afternoon. For the most part, we have the clouds and the cool air over us. Here's a wider look at it. As you can see, a lot more rainfall to go. And so that will be with us through the evening, right on through the overnight or into the overnight. By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, it should be out of the way. I think the roadways and the sidewalks will still be wet, though. Temperatures are in the 40s for the most part. Rome, for example, you got 45 degrees there. Over in Canton, you're at 46, 47 degrees in Marietta, 48 in Atlanta right now. Also Edenton the same, 41 down toward LaGrange where we have that rain, moderate rainfall coming down. A little bit cooler up here to the far north. You're right at 42 degrees in both Clayton and Blairsville at the current hour. The Wizometer is how we rate your weather on a scale from 1 to 11, with 11 being the most perfect day we can have for this time of the year. Last week we had those 2 11Alive days. Ooh, temperatures in the 70s. Wasn't it gorgeous? But you know, it's March. Still winter time, and so we're dealing with fluctuations in the weather, let's say. We'll get back to those 70s, of course, and it will be consistent. Then eventually we'll talk 80s and 90s once we get into further into times like May. So let's just take our time. 5 out of a possible 11 today on the Wizometer. Near 50 for your afternoon high temperature. That's a bit cool, cooler than our average. We should be in the upper 50s to near 60 this time of year. Better look at the area of low pressure that's driving this rain over here toward the east. We'll continue to slide eastward and spread that rain a little further to the north as well. And so I think eventually we'll all get on a little bit of wetness. You can see that easterly flow coming in, northeasterly, and that's what's setting us up for the cool air that we have out there. Here it is, our forecast track model. You can follow along with the time right there at the top of the screen. You see by 8:15, a little bit more of the way of widespread rain that really overtakes the entire area. Most of your heavy rain stays down here to the south. A couple thunderstorms could be there as well. By the time you wake up tomorrow, by 6 o'clock or so, most of the rain will be off to the east of us. We'll hold on to the clouds until about 8 or 9 o'clock. They'll break up. We'll get the sunshine in here, be sitting pretty from there. So it's going to wind up being a decent day on Wednesday with temperatures up to 61, but a better day on Thursday. Mostly sunny skies all day long, looking great too, with temperatures in the middle 60s. And then clouds will start to roll into our forecast area as we head into Friday. I think Friday will be another nice day. We'll give it a 10, but clouds will increase, and then a chance for rain coming early on Saturday. We'll give it a 30% chance. Christy, back to you.
It appears the seniors heading to Florida's beaches for spring break are different than in years past. This year, people who are 65 and older feel liberated to travel because they are among the 25 million who have gotten a COVID-19 vaccine. NBC's Carrie Sanders reports.
They are the original spring breakers. 60 years ago, what's now a ritual, college kids escaping to the beach, began after the movie Where the Boys Are.
Where's the beach?
This year, because of COVID, those first spring breakers are back. The flood of seniors during traditional Florida spring break, driven by COVID vaccines. Those 65 and older, the first in our nation to get shots, so they're the first to feel safe to travel.
I think there's a greater sense of freedom.
In my head, I feel comfortable traveling.
Rebecca and Mark Dembling split their time between New Jersey and Florida.
And now that we've had the shots, we feel that we're ready to rumble again. We want normalcy.
A study of this year's pandemic landscape found of those 65 or older, 83% say they're ready to travel, but are more interested in future travel only to be close to family. And just like the college kids, seniors on vacation at the Ocean's Edge in Key West say they're here for the Florida sun and fun, just at a different speed. John Woles is due to get his second shot on Wednesday.
We're very careful. We purposefully eat outside and watch what we do. We socially distance.
Also driving the on-land Florida pilgrimage, cruises, popular with older Americans, remain shut down. But not all the vaccinated are headed to the beach. Some remain cautious, skipping hotels, parking their RVs in Florida farm fields where they're allowed to stay. 68-year-old Marty Marone got both shots in New Jersey, and now he's in the Sunshine State.
It's been a crazy year, yes, I think for everybody.
You needed a break?
I'm always on a break. I'm kind of semi-retired, so I just enjoy life as it comes.
The freedom to travel to the beach or just away from the snow, even sweeter if it means being back with the ones you love.
I think the greatest difference is now we can invite the grandchildren to come to Florida and to stay with us. You have to have family, and that was the most difficult thing to give up for the last year.
That is true. A lot of people agree with that. It is 12:21 right now. Research shows many employers saw increased productivity when people began working from home. How some Fortune 500 companies plan to maintain that post-pandemic.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. For storm trackers, only on 11Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and
The pandemic forced a lot of people to work from home, and research now shows that the vast majority of those who made the switch hope to still have the option at least part-time moving forward. As Allie Spilliard shows us, it may be well worth it for employers.
As our living spaces become our office spaces, many of us have realized just how much work we can actually get done through a laptop screen. And a lot of employers have too.
Luckily, our team hit the ground running.
That's Utility Concierge CEO and founder Gabe Abshire. He's got about 90% of his employees connecting via video rather than in person. And this year, for the first time, he's even hired new staff from outside of DFW. He says both personally,
people are just a lot more happy at home.
And professionally, most are thriving.
So if they can hit their daily number by noon or whenever that is, hey, I got the rest of the day for myself. But what we really found is that they would hit that number and they would see that they had more time and they would go after bigger numbers and bigger goals.
That's consistent with several recent surveys, including one from Harvard, which found call center employees at a Fortune 500 retailer increased their productivity by up to 10% when work shifted home.
It's just clearly a much better way of doing business.
Though attorney Rangi Dunn believes face-to-face interactions can never be fully replaced, his firm's had so much success with virtual hearings that he spent $20,000 building a Zoom room with HD cameras, lights, and broadcast quality microphones, knowing some clients will still prefer to connect this way in post-pandemic life.
They say I can save the time and not fight downtown traffic. I don't have to worry about getting up and packing up and coming down to your office with the technology that's available.
Some long-term projections suggest the number of remote workers could double from where it was pre-pandemic.
My opinion and thought was that this is going to be something that employees demand.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. For storm trackers, only on 11Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
Delivering kindness and inspiring America, the group Meals on Wheels didn't stop for the pandemic. They couldn't. In fact, some programs have seen a 900% increase in demand. The group provides daily nutritious food for older Americans, many of whom are vulnerable and homebound. Meals on Wheels relies on volunteers and has overhauled its operation to safely deliver meals. The CEO says volunteers provide more than just a food drop-off. The volunteers say that knock on the door is just as fulfilling for them as it is for the seniors. And we're getting a look at the top 5 t-shirt designs for the 52nd AJC Peachtree Road Race. One of these colorful designs will be on the new historic shirt runners receive after finishing the race. This year's race is spread out over 2 days, July 3rd and 4th, because of the pandemic. You can vote for your favorite t-shirt design through the month of March, and the winning design will be unveiled the weekend of the race. And the designer gets $1,000. You can vote now on 11alive.com. Ooh, let me know. Tweet at me. Let me know your favorite design. I definitely have mine. Thanks for watching 11Alive News at noon. Stay safe.
TP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the Peachtrees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
We're quite the combo.